If you want to stop stressing about money, I'm going to show you a really simple method to manage your finances that's going to make your life better right now. What's up YouTube? My name is Adam and I've been working in finance for the last 10 years. And to be honest, in that time I didn't see too many people who would be truly in control of their finances, which is honestly crazy to me. Not having control over your money is incredibly stressful. Not knowing what you can and cannot afford, or if you are going to be good until your next paycheck. There is, however, a very simple and free method to regain control of your finances, and I am going to show you. By the way, it is the same method I use every single day and one that allowed my family to buy an apartment, go on vacations, save for retirement every single month and having a little bit of fun on the side as well. But before we get to it, we need to introduce a concept that is absolutely crucial for money management. And it really doesn't matter whether you have low income, high income, or if you manage finances of a big corporation. And that concept is called scarcity. No matter how high or low your income is, you are working with a finite amount of money. That sounds pretty obvious, but you need to realize the implications it has. Because your cash is limited in one way or another, spending it for one thing decreases your ability to spend it for something else, which leads to the most important part of money management, and that is prioritization. If you want to have a stress-free relationship with your money, you need to define what is the biggest priority your cash should go towards. However, just understanding this concept isn't enough. You need to take action, and here comes my two-step method. At first, you need to find out where your money goes right now. To tell you the truth, this isn't a very fun part of this exercise. You need to go face to face with your spending habits, and since you are stressed about the money, there are very likely unpleasant things for you to be confronted with. Let me tell you one thing though. Every dumb transaction you are going to find is a huge win for you, no matter how bad it feels at the time. And that's because every such transaction provides an incredible opportunity for you. If you get rid of such spending in the future, your disposable budget automatically grows, and there's an excellent chance you really won't miss that Starbucks coffee anyway. So, let's find out what you are spending your money on, and then we'll move on to the second part of the advice that will take you from being aware to being in the driver's seat. You will be likely amazed how big part of your spending one particular spending category is. Every time you make a purchase, write it down. It doesn't matter whether you use a dedicated app, Excel spreadsheet or pen and paper. What is important is for you to include the spending category, for example groceries, bills, eating out and similar. Also try to make a quick note why you made the purchase, if it was necessary, if it was an impulse buy, if you were feeling down and you needed to make that purchase to feel better. Be honest with yourself. It will really help you understand what's going on with your money and help you find patterns. At the end of every month, make a brief summary. What were you spending for? Was it all necessary purchases? Was it junk food, games, coffee? Were all of those purchases truly in line with your life priorities? In my case, they absolutely weren't when I started doing this. In fact, I found out I was spending so much money on stuff I really didn't care about, I almost didn't want to believe it. It was truly eye-opening. So at this point you are aware of what you are spending your money for, and that's incredible. Now the only thing you need to do is transform that information into a game plan. And that game plan is called budgeting. And I know a lot of people are tempted to click off right now, but bear with me. Budgeting isn't that stressful, unfun and restrictive process you imagine it being. At least not in my framework. It's quite literally the opposite. Remember how we talked about scarcity and prioritization? In my framework, the budget is just a way to embrace that scarcity and align your resources with your priorities. And if your biggest priority is the new Xbox, so be it. Budget will help you buy it as quickly as possible. It's basically a financial plan to achieve your heart's biggest desires. You just need to define them. When you do so, you'll stop spending money on things you don't really care about, and as a reward, you will be able to achieve your goals faster. And to really start budgeting, you don't need to overcomplicate things. Remember, even the slightest activity in this regard will take you miles ahead. So what should you do from the start? Do you remember how you took a list of all your spending and how you categorized it? Those categories are now going to be your budget categories. Summarize all the money you've got in cash and on your bank accounts and decide what those money should do until you get paid next time. Be realistic. Just because you want to spend only $1 a month for groceries doesn't mean that's going to be achievable. At first, budget for your top priority expenses: bills, rent, mortgage payment, groceries. Whatever is absolutely necessary for you to survive to your next payday in relative comfort. The rest is up to you really. I cannot tell you what you should do with your money because I do not know anything about your priorities. Before you make a purchase though, consult with your budget if you have money available for that category. If you don't, you have two options. You can either decide that you'll skip the purchase, or you really want to make it, but then you need to find money for it in one of the other categories. Remember that excessive Starbucks spending, maybe getting closer to that Xbox is more desirable for you. Once you make the purchase, you deduct the amount from your budget because the money is now gone. And that is the method I use. Try to follow it for at least few months and I promise your life will get better.